This leak is crazy, like actually crazy. There's a rumor going around on Weibo about the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro, and if this thing is real, mobile chips have officially lost their minds. The source is fixed focus digital cameras. If you follow leaks, you already know this guy doesn't just wake up and start lying for fun. He's been right a lot. So yeah, this one deserves attention. Here's the big headline that made my jaw drop. A mobile processor hitting a minimum of 5.00 gigahertz. Not peak, not for 1 second then it explodes, a minimum clock speed of 5 gigahertz on performance cores. Bro, desktop CPUs are watching this like, am I a joke to you? Let's slow down and break this in very simple terms. Right now, smartphone chips are already fast, like really fast. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 already boosts up to around 4.6 gigahertz, and Samsung's special Galaxy version might push close to 4.7 gigahertz. That alone is wild for something inside a phone that fits in your pocket and also handles WhatsApp voice notes from your aunt. But 5 gigahertz on a phone? That's not a small jump. That's a we don't care anymore jump. Now, the big question is obvious. How does this not melt the phone? Because heat is the real enemy here. Always has been. Phones don't have big fans. They don't have giant heat sinks. They mostly rely on vapor chambers, which are good, but they have limits. Push the clock speed too high and boom, throttling, lag, hot hands, bad battery life. And that's where this leak gets interesting. According to the tipster, Qualcomm may use Samsung's Heat Pass Block technology. Yes, Samsung, plot twist. This Heat Pass Block, or HPB, is already used in the Exynos 2600. Think of it like a superhighway for heat. Instead of heat getting stuck inside the chip, it gets pushed away faster. Less heat staying inside means more speed for longer time. Simple math. Samsung claims this tech improves heat resistance by around 16%. That may not sound huge, but in chip world, that's massive. That extra cooling headroom is what could allow the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro to sit comfortably at 5 GHz without instantly throttling like a scared cat. Now, here's the part that made my brain restart. The tipster says early testing shows clock speeds between 5.5 GHz and 6.0 GHz. Let me repeat that slowly. 6.0 GHz on a phone. At this point, your phone isn't a phone anymore. It's just a small, angry computer that also takes selfies. And yes, before you ask, this chip is expected to be built on TSMC's 2nm N2P process. Smaller transistors, better efficiency, more performance per watt. That's another reason these speeds might actually be possible. Now, let's talk real talk. What does this mean for actual users? First, everyday stuff will feel instant. Apps opening, multitasking, scrolling, all that becomes boringly fast. Second, gaming. This is where things get spicy. If a phone chip can hold 5 GHz properly, we're talking about console-level performance becoming normal. Games like Genshin, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, max settings, high frame rates, no sweat. And emulation? Yeah, emulators are about to go crazy. PS3 level emulation, Switch emulation, maybe even stuff we're not supposed to talk about yet. Cyberpunk on Ultra on a phone? Okay, maybe not fully native yet, but we are dangerously close. The scary part is that this isn't even Qualcomm's only 5 GHz chip. Look at the Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme for laptops. Qualcomm is already proudly advertising 5.0 GHz there. So if they can do it on laptops, shrinking that tech down into phones suddenly doesn't sound impossible anymore. Now, compare this to Apple. Apple usually doesn't care about clock speed numbers. They focus on efficiency, smart design, and real-world performance. So don't expect the A20 or A20 Pro to scream 5 GHz on stage. Apple will probably be like, Our chip is slower on paper but still beats everything, and somehow they might be right. But still, Android chips pushing raw numbers like this, it's exciting. Now, let's be clear, this is still a leak. No official announcement yet, Qualcomm hasn't confirmed anything, and minimum 5 GHz sounds almost too good to be true. But the pieces line up. New 2nm process, better cooling tech, Qualcomm already pushing 5 GHz on other chips, trusted leaker, competition getting crazy. This doesn't feel random. And remember, this chip is expected to appear in the second half of 2026. That gives Qualcomm plenty of time to refine things, fix heat issues, and make it stable. Also, there are 2 versions coming, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 and Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 Pro. The Pro version is the real monster. Higher clocks, better cores, support for LPDDR6 RAM and UFS 5.0 storage. Translation, faster memory, faster storage, zero patience for slow apps. Phones using this chip are going to be expensive, very expensive, but they'll also be ridiculous in performance. At this point, phones are no longer catching up to PCs. They're just taking a different road and flooring the gas pedal. So yeah, ARM processors are officially going insane. And honestly, I'm here for the chaos.